Dolmens. I have been thinking about the mystery of the dolmens for many years. We know nothing about its builders, their beliefs, and their way of living. Scientists used to think that these stone structures were patrimonial interments, but it was a big mistake, for remains were found only in several dolmens, and probably those had been put there by latter inhabitants hundreds of years after the construction. My theory is the result of studying strict regularities of the construction of every dolmen. The discovery suggests that the dolmen builders belong to a highly developed and pragmatic culture, alien to barbaric and primitive traditions of that time. Their complete disappearance is one of the greatest mysteries. There are neither evidences of wars nor natural disasters, as if they died at once of a mysterious disease, or just dissolved into thin air. Once during a trip to Western Caucasia, I talked to an archaeologist who told me that there were remnants of Albertia inodorum plant on the antic potsherds found in the dolmens. It is quite a rare plant with small purple flowers. It grows in mountain areas which are difficult to access. I brought the Albertia seeds home just in case and tried to couch them in my greenhouse. When I found the soil as dry as in the plant's natural aerial, it put down the roots. Meanwhile, I read in a botanical encyclopedia that the plant contains a substance which has a dissociative effect. In other words, it splits and separates connections between different parts of our mind. The usual interactions between memory, feelings, consciousness, and the ability to move become broken. The effect is really hard to imagine. The 10th of September. The whole week has passed like one moment. Progressively, fewer students are visiting my lectures, but I do not care anymore. Looking through the books, the notes of the Englishman, utter nonsense as I thought beforehand, I found a very interesting fact. The courts, which the dolmens were built of, along with the specifics of the construction, allowed generating ultrasound as well as infrasound. It means that it is necessary to change the strength and character of the ripple, and it seems like I will need the fifth controller. Soon my expenses will be much greater than my income, but I do not want to think about that. The 8th of October. I have been carrying out experiments with the organophone during the last 2 days. All the windows are vibrating and the plaster peels off the ceiling. Peter, who is laying the lines, complained about paroxysms of panic, so I gave him the earplugs. Now I am sure that I have calculated the size of the capsule and its layout correctly. It means that the problem is in the acoustic pressure and the ripple. The 10th of October. It is a great day. I cannot believe in my success. Finally, I have managed to be there for a few seconds. I did not feel my physical body, but at the same time, I was aware of myself and everything around me. It is hard to believe, but I could move in that world. I guarantee that all I had seen was not a result of overexertion, but the work of my machine, which implemented the experience of the ancient civilizations. Also, the chemical effect of the plant should not be disregarded, but I do know it produces an absolutely different effect when isolated. I must hurry to the cellar and celebrate this occasion with a bottle of Chateau Bordeaux. The 12th of October. It appears to be even more extraordinary than I could imagine. I have started a new diary where I thoroughly record every detail of my presence in what I decided to call the shimmering world. The second trip was distinctly longer and lasted for 2.5 minutes. I insist now that it is possible not only to travel there, but also to interact with various objects. Sometimes it reminds me of our habitual world reflected in a distorting mirror and with dimmed colors. Experiments are ongoing. Last week I realized that the shimmering world exists under its own laws of time and space. Now it appears much more complex and deeper than it seemed before. I think this is the second day that I've spent without having a meal, but doing this would force me to go out, but that's the last thing I want to do. The 23rd of October. The slightest equipment malfunction can lead to the failure of the whole research. I scarcely have money for buying new parts. The latest innovation. I installed the control panel with the toggle switchers in the living room for more comfort and safety. I do not know when I'll have the occasion to write again. The journal takes too much precious time, which I rather dedicate to exploring the shimmering world. The 4th of November. I feel that it is waiting for me. Everything I have been doing in my life got imprinted in the gleaming world in some way. Now it gives me the chance to experience all the happy moments over again and correct all the things I want to change. I need to raise the dose and gain the head of water in order to prolong the trip. Maybe that world is the matrix for our reality. My discovery will turn the scientific world upside down. The 11th of November. It is very hard to write. I am confused and depressed. The shimmering world showed me its new, frightening hypostasis. From the very beginning, I felt the irrational fright. I needed to run away, but I felt as if I had stuck in time. And one of the episodes repeated over and over again. I was robbed of my strength, but I managed to leave the capsule by a miracle. A new trouble appeared in my life. I received a notice that my financial situation is extremely poor. Why does this happen when I am almost done with all the needed material and ready to inform the world about my revolutionary discovery? The 1st of December. There is no other reality. It is just a dream. The house is a dream, and this diary is part of the dream too. It is a strange conglomeration of meaningless words. It is impossible to construct this kind of machine here. Only a somnolent mind could give a birth to such a trivial and linear world. It is a place where all the things are being ruined gradually and dying. How should it be? There is no answer here. I do not understand how any discovery can change the world. Appreciation, love, and money are only illusions, and our self is just a sequence of the memories. What has been happening to me all this time? At first, I did not realize that I could not leave the shimmering world in the usual way. How long have I been here? Has it been days, months, or probably years? To have at least a rough idea of time, I date my notes according to the meridian moving fragments of architectural abstractions.